All bowling fans are back. Classic Lanes Fox Valley is a site. A very unique event here today, Joey, for the 2014 Straight Shot Youth Classic. A little mix of the lanes. We have wood lanes and synthetic lanes, and we've made a pair of lanes out of the two.
Yeah, unusual with the even number lane being the left lane and the odd number being the right lane. One being wood, one being synthetic. It should be an interesting match today.
Yeah, lots of different ways the bowlers use to get to the pocket today. They had to not only deal with the usual lane moves they make, but they're dealing with different surfaces on each lane. So it's going to be a pretty exciting finals. We've got our girls finals, our boys finals, and of course the boys and girls winners meet for that challenge match, and a $150 Visa gift card on the line today, thanks to our friends at Straight Shot Billiard Supply in Menasha. So we're going to come back with a girls championship match in just a moment. Make sure you stay tuned.
Straight Shot, the ultimate collection of cool stuff for your home, bar, or rec room. From the finest in game tables, boards, and accessories, to furnishings and decor that reflect your personality or support your team. Check out Straight Shot, your game room headquarters, 1215 Appleton Road, Menasha.
Barbier's Italian Inn, featured in onmilwaukee.com's In Search of the Perfect Pizza in January 2013. Near Miller Park on Blue Mountain Road and on Milwaukee Avenue in South Milwaukee. Opening match here from Classic Lanes, Fox Valley, the 2014 Straight Shot Youth Classic Girls Championship match. And Joey, we've got our leading qualifier here, Brittany Burgess, starting things off on lane 18, the wood lane here on this unique pair of lanes.
Yes, Brittany, daughter of Brian Burgess, well-known Wisconsin bowler.
Yes, indeed. Brian here cheering his daughter on, giving her a little bit of advice. And you can see with this Kegel middle road shot, the bowlers are going to be playing it relatively straight, trying to keep the ball in play, and the difference between the two lanes will definitely come through as you watch these youngsters bowl.
Well, you should mention that, Phil. We have a different lane surface on each lane.
Yeah, right now, Classic Lanes Fox Valley in the middle of $1 million remodel. They have 18 lanes of wood and 18 lanes of newly installed synthetic, and unfortunately for Brittany, she pulled that a bit, only taking out the 7-pin. So because of that, we have this unique, I guess you could say, once-in-a-lifetime tournament, because as of the middle of October, the first 18 lanes here at Classic Lanes Fox Valley will be fully remodeled and fully synthetic from the foul line down.
So that's going to change the way the lanes play. Even though the pattern on both lanes is identical, the pattern will play differently on the synthetic and wood lanes.
Yeah, you'll definitely see the young ladies here playing the lanes a little bit straighter on the right lane, on the synthetic lane. Friction is a little bit less overall on the synthetics. Wood lanes, a little softer surface, have a tendency to grab the bowling balls earlier and let them hook up a little bit more.
Well, wood lanes can be, according to Eric Pearson, 2 to 3 times softer than typical synthetic lane surfaces.
Needs a little help to get by, and unfortunately misses it.
Yeah, both girls a little tentative on their spare shooting early in the match.
Well, that's one thing these young ladies got to think about right now. They're moving from lane to lane. They're getting a totally unique reaction on each lane, and sometimes you don't want to get ahead of yourself. You want to make sure you're filling frames and getting that spare before you're worried about how you're going to throw the ball when you get back on that wood lane or synthetic lane as you make that move. Savannah taking a different ball on lane 18, and no problem getting all 10 down with that shot.
Making the pattern play pretty nicely there. And you know, this is somewhat akin to the tournaments that have different patterns on different lanes, even though it's the same lane surface. You almost need a different mindset because your swing can be dramatically different on a high friction surface compared to a low friction.
Absolutely. You'll see some bowlers like Brittany here just make positions changes with the line she's using, and watching her ball walk into the pocket there, can't quite get the 4-pin out. And other bowlers, like you're seeing with Savannah, are using a different ball in each lane to try to get the same look on each lane while having the same physical game, having the ball hook up the same way.
Right, and we could see the ball make a little more of a quicker, sudden move in change of direction as it left the oil pattern, and that's typical on synthetic patterns, or synthetic surfaces, that is.
Yeah, wood lanes, because of that softer surface, as you spoke of earlier, it has a tendency to grab the ball a little bit earlier, let it start rolling a little bit earlier, but kind of decrease the overall hook of the ball. Pretty much all even here after one frame.
I think it's going to be a test of which girl has the better spare game.
Yeah, filling frames was key here today, and we found that out because both these young ladies here averaged over 210 for the day on this tournament. Only one boy, our top qualifier, Zach Hansen, averaged over 200, and he averaged 205 for the day. So The girls pretty much handing it to the boys today. We'll see if it works all the way through, because obviously after this match we'll have our boys championship match, and then the two winners will be taking each other on in the challenge match for a $150 Visa gift card, thanks to our friends at Straight Shot Pool and Game Supply in Menasha for this event, and Classic Lanes Fox Valley. That needs some help to hold on.
Well, that's 3 spares we've seen the kids miss left of target. Do you think that's the pattern, or do you think that's still nerves, Phil?
I think it might still be a little bit of nerves more than anything. I mean, that ball you just see, Wood Lane obviously hooks up a little bit earlier, and she maybe just didn't play it the way she was looking to. You give her that extra couple of boards of tug on these non-house patterns, and it can really take off to the left on the back end.
Savannah, 16 years of age with a high series of 813 to her credit, and she had plenty of those in that night.
Yes, indeed. She had that at the Wisconsin Youth State Tournament last year at Super Bowl up here in the Fox Valley area. She also took first for the girls division back in March for the Kids Bowling for Kids event that our friends at the Spare Time Bowling Show and WSSP helped sponsor.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but is not the men's state tournament at Super Bowl and Fox Valley?
That is correct. Your team event this next year for the 2015 men's state tournament will be the team event at Super Bowl, and the singles and doubles events here at Fox Valley, Classic Lanes Fox Valley, pardon me.
All right, and they will have all synthetic lane surfaces in by the time we bowl.
Yes, indeed. Some of the bowlers were joking earlier today they should make the doubles event on the wood lanes and the singles event on the synthetic lanes, just to give a little more variety to the state tournament. There are quite a few heads of the parents nodding and go, yeah, that would be a pretty fun thing to have.
You can see a great shot there by Brittany. Definitely showing off some of Dad's coaching talents right there.
Yeah, she's definitely got a shot down on that synthetic lane on lane 19 here at Classic Lanes Fox Valley, but she has to work on getting some strikes here on this wood lane. She can double here, getting into the commercial break. She'll knock Savannah Giroux's lead down to 22 pins. Nice out of her hand.
Yeah, that looked good all the way, and she gets the roll.
Nice little scramble there to get into our first commercial break of the day. Join us back here from Classic Lanes Fox Valley for this girls' championship in the 2014 Straight Shot Youth Classic in just a moment. We're back at Classic Lanes Fox Valley, the 2014 Straight Shot Youth Classic Girls Finals. We had the young ladies bowl through the commercial break to keep up on time. Savannah with a great shot. Just leaves that 7-pin 5 just going in front of the 7. Switches to the polyester spare ball. No problem covering up that spare. Moves over to the wood lane here, lane 18. And the ball goes a little long on her. She leaves the 2-4-5 combination. Never an easy spare. But she switches once again to a polyester spare ball. Goes to the left side to take the chop out of play. And covers it up nicely. Brittany Burgess steps up. Comes up just a little bit high on lane 19, the synthetic lane here today at Classic Lanes Fox Valley. Leaves the 4-7 combination. Another bowler uses a polyester spare ball to go straight at the 2 pins. Gets them both down. And over to the wood lane, almost the mirror image of what she just did on lane 19. Leaves the 4-7 once again. Takes the polyester ball. No problem covering up that spare. And with that, we're going to get back to the live action with Phil Brilo and Joe Serrar. Well, she covers us up far from out of the match yet. Brittany Burgess, 22 pins behind Savannah Giroux as Savannah steps up on lane 19 here at Classic Lanes Fox Valley. Now, talking to General Manager Terry Coolibert, looking forward to getting all this remodeling finished, and owners Gary Mack and Gary Darashevsky, working hard to make a great center, not just for the league bowlers here in the Fox Valley area, but everybody that's coming to town for the 2015 state tournament, singles and doubles. Plenty of bar specials, food specials, so make sure you're planning on hanging around after you bowl your singles and doubles events at the state tournament in 2015.
Yeah, our hats should go off to both Garys for doing a great job here revitalizing one of the centers in our area as opposed to closing it.
Absolutely. So putting in spectacular equipment, brand new scoring, and is she going to roll the 4? Not quite.
Well, good shot off her hand, but I think at this stage of the match she's happy not leaving a split, and she should be adjusted to the nerves of the match and should be able to convert this 4-pin.
Yeah, well, both these young ladies have been under our TV lights here on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel before. know what they need to get out there and fill frames and win matches. Brittany, of course, the winner of our Top Gun tournament last year for the girls at Motion Plus Lanes, and we got a great tournament coming up there we'll talk to you about during the next game. And Savannah, of course, our Kids Bowling for Kids champion for 2014. Looking forward to have that event again in 2015 with Sports Radio 1250 WSSP to benefit the Max McGee Foundation at Children's Hospital. Brittany got that one a little farther on the lane that time and kept the 4-7 away, but unfortunately not enough to take the 10-pin out.
Just came in a touch late in the pocket, and up stands the 7-pin. Now, we did mention Savannah's 800 series, 813. Brittany also claimed to fame, a 300 game. High series of only 720 so far, but we know it's just a matter of time before she eclipses that.
Oh, absolutely, and especially your senior year this year at Fond du Lac High School. So they're going to always have a strong team. They'll make another appearance at the high school state tournament this year. That's going to be in Madison in 2015. The ladies will be at Prairie Lanes out in Sun Prairie, and the guys and the finals will be at Boulevard Lanes on the east side of Madison. Brittany really needs to still get herself set up here for the 10th frame, and once again, the ball a little farther on the lane to help get it down lane, but not enough on the back end to take the 10 out.
Yeah, it looked like a little bit of an adjustment in her release there, like she tried to create a little more side rotation, get it to drive through better, but as we see, upon entry, it deflected.
Well, she's not had this match yet, but she's going to need a lot of help from Savannah Giroux in order to win, and a nice cover there by Brittany.
Yeah, she's going to need opens from her opponent, without a doubt.
So if you want to keep up, see all the remodeling that's happened here at Classic Lanes Fox Valley. We've got all the information on the website, classicfoxvalley.com. And once again, I want to thank our tournament sponsors, Straight Shot Game and Billiard Supply out of Menasha. You can go to their website, straightshotwi.com, and check out all their specials. They even got a coupon on there right now if you go check out their website. If you're looking to get a new pool table, dartboards, anything for your rec room at home, ping pong tables, save yourself a little bit of money, go to the website. And Savannah there, another case of 10-pinitis for our bowlers.
Yeah, the same kind of hit that her opponent just had with that little bit of back-end deflection, but she's in control of the match, should be all over the spare.
Tickles it down. Keeps herself in the lead here by 23 pins. Basically right now, any mark will get her into the challenge match against the boys division winner. Brittany's maximum right now would be 191. Actually a good count for Savannah here would do that, and 9 count will give her 192 if she gets it on the first ball.
Both girls very solid at the line. They post the shot perfectly. Great follow-throughs. Don't have the power that the boys have, but again, that's not the only thing in bowling that's necessary for scorers.
Yeah, a good strong roll at the pocket. Watch that ball get through. Everything just kind of crumbles down into the bucket, and she gets herself into the championship match. Guarantees herself at least a $100 Visa gift card, courtesy of Straight Shot Game Supply. Brittany Burgess, not only with the scholarship money she won earlier today, she's going to be taking home a $50 gift card, thanks to Straight Shot. So we want to thank them again for their support of this event, and I think they're pretty stoked with being able to support youth bowling in the Fox Valley area. I know that they're doing some stuff with the youth leagues here as well at Classic Lanes Fox Valley, and Dan Paul, great bowler himself and a great coach of that youth program here.
Yeah, it takes dedicated individuals that help the kids along, and Dan Paul, one of the best.
So gets 9 on that last shot. 213 is the winning score for this game. Brittany, nothing to hang her head about though. She was her leading qualifier, took home a good chunk of scholarship money, plus that bonus $50 Visa gift card. Maybe she can do a little shopping at the outlet mall in Oshkosh on her way home if she can convince Dad to take a little bit of a detour.
Another good shot right in the 1-3, and just not good carry for her today. I mean, she did control the pocket, and sometimes when you think you got the right ball in hand and your execution is good, it's kind of hard to take that ball out of your hand and risk going through the nose or missing the pocket.
Absolutely. I mean, she was getting in the pocket. She had a problem with a couple of 10 pins, a couple of 4-7s, and we're going to save a little time, get to the next match. We're going to return with that boys championship final here for the 2014 Straight Shot Youth Classic from Classic Lanes Fox Valley in just a moment. Make sure you stay tuned.
Straight Shot. Pool tables, cues, balls, and accessories. Dartboards, darts, and dart supplies. Poker tables and poker chips. Board games and table games. Stay-at-home fun for the entire family. Check out Straight Shot, your game room headquarters, 1215 Appleton Road, Menasha.
Handshake between our competitors here for the Boys Championship for the 2014 Straight Shot Youth Classic. Coming to you from Classic Lanes in Fox Valley. Zach Hansen leading things off here on the wood lane, lane 18.
Zach, 15 years of age, bowling the old man, Nick, at 17.
Nick, our can't say defending tournament champ, but last time you saw the Youth Challenge Series on TV from Sunset Bowl in Waukesha, he won that tournament title there, so he's looking for his second in a row.
All right, now we'll probably see the boys playing a little bit left on the pattern compared to where the girls were. Zach's opening shot definitely displayed some power.
Yep. Yeah. Nick will be a little bit of the straighter player of the two here. You'll see both these young men using thumb inserts to help keep the same feel going from ball to ball as they're going to be switching equipment from lane to lane here. We found that most of the boys all day were using one ball on the synthetic surface and a different ball on the wood surface. Very straight and a big break there to trip the 4 out.
Yeah, it looked like he might have got out of that a little quicker than he wanted to, which gets the ball into that earlier roll. But it did hold pocket.
Watch the replay here. Head pin comes off the wall, takes out the 4 and the 7. Usually it's the 2-pin coming off the wall, but that was a little bit too high. 2-pin went straighter back, and the head pin did the work that time for us.
Well, bowlers aren't too picky, as long as one of the pins works, right?
Yes, indeed. And here's a unique-looking bowling ball. You don't see a white bowling ball very often nowadays.
Well, that should be the Track 400A. Good length, strong back-end reaction, and definitely got the job done on that shot.
No doubt about that. Last time I saw that ball was with one of Nick's high school teammates, Alex Fisher, at the last year's high school shootout. And oh, here we go, the Action Heating and Cooling Open coming up Saturday, November 8th at Motion Plus Lanes in Cudahy. Always a great TV finals for that show. You can give Kerry Catania a call at Motion Plus, 414-481-0200, and he'll get you signed up for that tournament. Get in early because it does always sell out. Zach Hansen looking for a double, and how about that? The wall shot.
That was an interesting pin action there, and Zach using a Storm High Road, his favorite ball to throw. And again, you use the same ball, you can play the line a little differently, and I think he's deep enough in the pattern where he's going to see some pretty easy push through the front part of the lane.
Yep. Storm High Road, that ball's been out for how many years now, Joey?
I believe this is its 6th year.
It's unusual that a bowling ball stays out that long and is not discontinued. It's probably got to be the longest in resin history, I would think.
Oh, well, it could be right up there. I mean, the Danger Zone was around for quite a while, and Storm's had other balls very similar to the High Road, similar core, similar covers, different names.
But yeah, that seems to be quite a few young bowlers' favorite to be kind of a benchmark ball for them.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of a smoother arcing ball, reasonably quick change in direction down lane.
Another Storm ball being used here on the synthetic lane by Nick. He's using an IQ Solid.
IQ Solid, a smoother motion, a little earlier rolling ball than the 400A that we saw him use on the left lane, the white ball.
Yeah. And you look at these kids, they have the different equipment they're using out here, that type of thing today, and a lot of these bowlers really, confer with a pro shop guy like you to make sure that they're filling their arsenals up right. And really, when these bowlers are looking to get their arsenal done, there's really no dumb questions about their equipment, is there?
Well, no. I mean, the only dumb thing about your equipment would be not knowing the differences between them and not knowing the reaction characteristics. I mean, some balls will be flippy no matter how you lay them out, and other balls are going to be more arcing no matter how you lay them out. But certain layouts obviously can either add to that or subtract some of the shape.
So if you're looking to add a new ball to your arsenal, whether you're seeing Joey or Dennis at Bowlers Pro Shop in Milwaukee or your local pro shop establishment, don't be afraid to ask them questions about filling in that arsenal properly.
We'll see if this ball visually gives us easy length, strong back end. Definitely was strong on the back, came in a little late though, and when a ball reads the pattern late, typically you're going to see some corner pins.
Yeah, that 3-pin goes a little straighter back than one would want. The 6 goes into the flat gutter. You can see there, and just nothing on the 10 pin whatsoever. Not out of this match yet, obviously, being early, but when your opponent starts off with the first 3 strikes, it can make your life a little bit interesting.
And good bowlers, you know, they do leave a lot of 10 pins, but the reason is they're in the pocket a lot.
They're always in the pocket. We haven't seen a shot out of the pocket yet this game, and speaking of not seeing a lot of shots out of the pocket, whenever we have our Wisconsin Women's Open Finals on TV, this will be our 6th consecutive year with that. Great women bowlers. Sunday, November 23rd at Classic Lanes Greenfield is that event. Make sure you give Gina Darashevsky a call down at Classic Lanes Greenfield to get some information on that tournament. 414-282-6400. And while we're talking, Zach's just busy just throwing strikes out here.
Well,
4 in a row.
He's got it in cruise control right now. He's got a good feel on the lane. He's seeing the ball go through the pins the way you want to see it go through. Minimal deflection.
Yeah, and for Zach's first time under the TV lights here on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel, he's not showing a lot of nerves so far. Getting the job done.
He's too young to be nervous.
Well, he wouldn't be our youngest tournament champion on TV if he were to win today. We had that with Matt Hibbard back at the Visit Sheboygan Invitational at Lakeshore Lanes in Sheboygan last May. But he would be the 2nd youngest all time if he would win today.
Zach has authored a 298 high game as of age 15 and a high series of 768.
I don't think I beat either of those until I was twice Zach's age. Looking to go for this 2-pin here to get us into the commercial break for our boys championship match. Zach Hansen covers it up nicely. We'll be back with the second half of this match from Classic Lanes Fox Valley in just a moment. Make sure you stay tuned for that. Back at Classic Lanes Fox Valley, due to time constraints, we had the bowlers continue bowling through the commercial break. Nick Hagen stepping up in his 5th frame, looking to stay within a couple of marks, throws a great shot there and kicks the 10 pin out on the synthetic lane here of our unique pair of 18 and 19 here at Classic Lanes Fox Valley. Tries to get the adjustment to kick the 10 pin out on lane 18, but just can't quite do it. Almost gets the messenger to knock it over, and it's a leaner there, Joey.
Yeah, well, you know, he wants length on 18, and he's getting length, but a little bit too much length, and it's not quite getting that 6-pin to cooperate into the 10.
Oh, Nick Hagen covers it up nicely, but Zach Hansen steps up in his 6th frame. Nothing but 10 back on that shot. Goes over to the wood lane. Lane 18 here at Classic Lanes Fox Valley, and basically repeats the shot, scrambles it up.
Yeah, and it's funny how the game can come and go to us with pin carry. It's like you need the right speed, the right release, the right entry angle, the right break point, being early enough or not too late. And it's a mix of so many things to give us strikes. And when things are going our way, it seems so easy, and when they're not, very challenging.
Yeah, it can get to be a real mental grind on you when you're looking to just make that slight adjustment to get the corner pins out and your opponent's striking against you. Nick Hagen stepping up here in his 7th frame, down by 31 pins, and looks like he's made a slight adjustment in with his feet. Maybe he saw something on kicking that 10 pin out last frame.
Well, a ball change for one. Instead of a late 10 pin, he almost leaves a 7-10, but he gets the carry.
A little sarcastic hand slap on the way back. I don't know if he was happy with his release or not, but he's got to be happy with the results here. 5-pin just barely tickles out the 7, and the head pin does take the 10 out.
Right, so, you know, the ball still deflected as it did with the white ball on the back-to-back shots, yet it had just a little bit different entry angle to get some added pin action for the strike.
Now we're seeing both these young men here. They're using a removable thumb slug to go from ball to ball to get that good feel in the ball. How many of your higher average customers, Joey, are using these removable thumb slugs? I know there's a couple different styles out there.
Well, you know, it's hard to put a percentage on it, but those who have maybe a more sensitive or particular feel with their thumb love the interchangeables because you can have them different sizes, different pitch, and just use the favorite thumb for you on that particular day.
I know I use the Turbo Grip system and really enjoy being able, in case my thumb shrinks or swells, being able to change that insert out and have a good feel from ball to ball. And especially with a long day of tournament bowling like these young men have had already. They already have 6 games in the books. This is their 7th game so far. Zach needs some help with that one. I was surprised that one held.
Well, he's getting help. Maybe from the guy up above, or just his instinct is kicking in at release. But when he's a little left of target, the ball's holding pocket, definitely not deflecting. And when he gets it a little wide, it's getting back and facing up just perfect.
You watch that strong roll all the way through the pins, and I bet some of our adult bowlers are taking advantage of watching these kids here today. The next tournament also coming to you here from Classic Lanes Fox Valley, the Straight Shot Open. Got some pretty good bowlers signed up for that tournament. I saw Chad Kloss, Eric Fritt, and Scott Stoltz on the roster for that one, so odds are one, if not all 3, are going to make the TV show for that event.
That's not a bad trio.
No, not at all. I'd like to... You and I as 4th and 5th on that team, I think we can keep the average cap under 1,000.
I think we'll do our best, yeah.
So, Zach pretty much locks up the match right there. It's going to take a strike out here in the 9th and 10th frames by Nick Hagen for any pressure to get placed on Zach. Zach's maximum score right now, 279. Only that light 2-pin in the 5th frame is holding Zach away from that perfect game.
Well, Nick could make it interesting. Nick's high game, 299, 1 pin higher than Zach. Carries the Wally, and his high series, 769.
So pretty much you can say evenly matched for both these young men. A lot of high school competition, a lot of tournament competition, not just with the Youth Challenge Series here, but other youth tournaments in the area, and a nice mixer there for Nick to keep the dream alive right now. His maximum score, if he can go off the sheet here, would be 248, and that would force Zach to mark in the 10th frame in order to advance to the championship match against Savannah Giroux for the $150 Visa gift card that Straight Shot Billiard and Game Supply is putting on the line here today for our challenge match winner.
So let's see if we can pick up what Nick did on this lane to improve his carry and carry that 10. Did he soften up the speed? Did he just put a little bit extra hand into it?
Look at his feet. It looked like he just moved a hair to the right with his feet, and a great shot there by Nick.
Yeah, I think you're right on the money there, Phil. Just a 1-and-1 move to the right, create a little bit more angle of entry, a little higher friction.
And especially in a flatter pattern here with this Kegel middle road pattern, you know, it's about a 4.5 to 1 ratio as compared to your 10 or 12 to 1s for house patterns. These kids know on a tougher pattern they can move a little bit right and have an equaled out ball reaction instead of an overreaction like you get in a lot of league shots with the excessive dry boards.
So Nick can punch out for a 248 maximum, which would make it interesting for Zach needing a mark in the 10th.
Zach would need a mark because 9 out for Zach in the 10th frame would be 247. So, oh my.
Bit right at target, yeah.
I don't know, just a release issue there, no doubt about that. He's coming back.
Or the feet got quick, or he brushed his ankle. Only he knows for sure what happened, but definitely far right of target.
Well, unfortunately there for Nick, it's going to be game over here. Zach just has to stay behind the foul line now, no matter what Nick does on the spare.
Yeah, and that was really his only errant shot the entire match.
Yeah, 4 pin and a couple of 10 pins is the only difference prior to this 1-2-4-8 conversion attempt, and only gets 2 on that. Get himself a 232 finish. A lot of the scholarship money from earlier today. Nick's going to be taking home a $50 Visa gift card as a bonus, thanks to our friends at Straight Shot Billiard and Game Supply in Menasha. And Zach here taking a little extra time. He knows the match is at hand, so do you do a little bit of an area check here maybe, or... Yeah,
well, I mean, does he get any practice before the...
No, Savannah will come back on. She'll get a couple of shadow balls during the commercial break, and unfortunately for Zach, he'll have to sit and watch.
I would say he should.
Well, he's a little bit left of where he wants to be there, and ooh, yeah, comes up high.
Yeah, it looked a little soft speed-wise, and definitely a little left to target.
Match no longer in doubt. We're going to save a little bit of time here, get back here with our challenge match between Zach Hansen and Savannah Giroux from Classic Lanes Fox Valley. Join us for that challenge match in just a couple of minutes.
Straight Shot, the ultimate collection of cool stuff for your home, bar, or rec room. From the finest in game tables, boards, and accessories, to furnishings and decor that reflect your personality or support your team. Check out Straight Shot, your game room headquarters, 1215 Appleton Road, Menasha.
Well, bowling fans, my favorite part of the show always is these challenge matches here. This one coming to you from Classic Lanes Fox Valley, the 2014 Straight Shot Youth Classic. Zach Hansen and Savannah Giroux, and even though Zach's coming off of a 240 game, Savannah beat him in qualifying by 40 pin scratch. I'm going to give my advantage to Savannah in this match for once.
Well,
I'm going to give it to the girl.
And I will too, and it's typically a David versus Goliath match when we got the boys winner against the girls winner. And I'm not saying that won't happen, but we have a talented young lady here who knows how to make shots. She's authored an 800 series. She kind of blew the pattern away in qualifying. And it doesn't look as though she gets rattled.
No, she's pretty calm. You see her, I think her dad Dave, you see over her left shoulder there, gets a little bit more rattled than Savannah does when they're out on the lanes together.
But that's typical for a parent watching their kid in any sport.
And once again on lane 19, seeing a lot of those 10 pins on that lane today. Just that lane rolling up a little bit later than the wood lane on lane 18.
And not a lot of deflection, so that was just a hard 10. 6-pin kind of went across the belly of the 10 instead of knocking it over. Changes to a spare bolt, cross lane.
That's one thing we saw at Savannah again all day today. You see it pretty much at every tournament for her. Doesn't give away marks, doesn't give away single pin misses at all.
Well, that's what separates the champions we see on TV on Sundays and those we don't, is how good your spare game is. Savannah does want to give a shout out though to Danielle Hibbert for making her beautiful bowling shirt.
Yes indeed, she's got that shiny silver lettering on the back of her bowling shirt. You know, Danielle makes a lot of bowling shirts for her children as well. Billy and Matt Hibbert, you've both seen on many of our shows here on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel. I want to thank our friends down there once again for having another one of our great tournaments on the air. The only weekly bowling series left in the United States locally, and we couldn't do it without the help from Time Warner Cable Sports Channel. I want to thank them again for their support.
So 2 for 2 on her spares, and we'll see if Zach can keep the strike train going.
Once again, if you want to see how the renovations are going here at Classic Lanes Fox Valley, I know Terry Kulibert's been putting a lot of pictures up on the website, the way things used to be and the way things are looking. And I'll tell you what, walking through here today, seeing all these nice brand new synthetic lanes, brand new ball returns, all kinds of nice stuff. It's
freshly sanded approaches, if I can interject there, and gives a nice feel to the game when you have freshly sanded wood approaches.
Yes, indeed. Wood approaches are always my favorite. You don't get the tacky or overly sliding conditions you do sometimes with the weather changes like you do with synthetic approaches. And I think Zach would like to change what the 6-pin did on the 10 right there, which was miss it.
Yeah, well, you know, his carry was really good for a while, and it kind of went a little bit away toward the end of the last game. So he'll have to make some type of adjustment.
Doesn't switch to the polyester ball, stays with the strike ball, flattens it out, and a little harder speed, manages to tickle that 10-pin down. And once again, bowlers, if you haven't gotten your entries in already for the Action Heating and Cooling Open, coming to you on Saturday, November 8th for Motion Plus Lanes, call Kerry Catania, the proprietor there, to get in on that, 414-481-0200. As always, we're going to have the finals of that Action Heating and Cooling Open on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel sometime in November. Check your listings at sports32.com for that. And a big break there for Zach carrying a crossover strike.
Yeah, and Zach is going to either have to make some adjustments for carry as well as hitting the pocket, or Savannah may just kind of run away with us.
Yeah, right there, you know, you get a little bit of a break there, and whether it was just targeting or nerves or bad timing, get that strike up on the board, but you got to be able to take advantage of it as well. And Savannah, nice stroke through on the shot. That strong roll takes all 10 pins down. And, you know, as you talked about earlier, Joey, it's not always about the rev rate and everything. It's getting that ball into a nice strong roll as it's facing the pocket.
Yeah, well, when there's only 10 shots to consider, let's say, since there's 10 frames in a match, it's going to take great shot making, at least in 8 of those 10. There's no extra games to make up ground. No,
not at this time. Especially for that $150 Visa gift card, thanks to our sponsor, Straight Shot Billiards and Game Supply. For first place in this match. Loser of this match still taking home a $100 Visa gift card bonus along with the scholarship money they already won today.
Back-to-back 4 pins for Savannah on that left lane, and I think she threw it the way she wanted to. It's not as though she missed left. That ball just read up a little strong, so she'll have to make a little adjustment on that lane.
One would think it would simply just be a movement with the feet on the approach. Maybe a border to the
Right.
left.
Yeah, she's not going to make a big move because that'll change her angle through the front.
And you can see she got done with that shot. It's backed by her dad, Dave. They're already mapping out lane strategy, getting ready for when she steps back up in the 5th frame after the commercial break. But Zach's got a couple of shots here before we take our last commercial break of the day, and he's looking to find a way to strike here on lane 19. He split his 10th frame of the boys championship match, came back with a 10 pin, and once again just can't take that 10 pin out.
Back-to-back soft 10s on that lane, right lane, and again, I think he's wondering a little bit what to do. We've all been there in a match or in league where you have a great shot and all of a sudden, yeah, you're close, but the carry goes away and the ball's not going through the pocket the way you want to see it go through. So he'll have to make some adjustment.
Whether it's a subtle hand position change or a little bit of a line change, he'll definitely need to do that because his opponent staying clean so far as well. And with that spare, Zach is only up by a single pin, even though he's got an extra strike on the board. It only pays when you get those strikes and strings. You gotta get that 2, 3, 4 in a row to really take advantage of your striking.
Yeah, and we've seen bowlers in our league on Mondays have 8 strikes in a game and shoot 187, and others that have 2 strikes in a game and still muster a 200 game out of it. So you need to fill the frames, and I mean, it's exciting to throw strikes, and it's the way you get big scores, but obviously spares are so important.
Yeah, a big strike into our commercial break for this game. Join us back from Classic Lanes Fox Valley for the rest of the Straight Shot Youth Classic Challenge Match Championship in just a moment. Everything we can want in a challenge match here from Classic Lanes Fox Valley. Nice tight match after 4.5 frames, and Savannah Giroux looking to get out here and find her second strike of the game here, Joey.
Now she's not showing too much in nerves. Bad release off the hand. You could see when she let it go, she kind of came around it a little early and kind of topped it or give it a little top spin, and the ball's not going to read the lane near as quickly as when you stay behind it and roll it.
Yeah, almost got lucky there. I mean, the head pin did do a lot of work on the 4 and 5, but nothing took the 8 pin out, but relatively easy single pin spare for Savannah here. No problem covering that up.
Yeah, and a power player with that same kind of release mistake, you're normally looking at a 210 or 2-8-10, 2-4-8-10. It's something ugly and definitely an open.
Yeah, especially you get that little increased entry angle like a lot of the high rev players usually have.
See if she keeps her hand behind it through the release, much better than the previous shot. But that left lane is kind of reading up early. She had back-to-back 4 pins.
Yep.
And now that one definitely higher yet.
So whether she ran into a little bit of where the oil's burned out by Nick Hagen and Zach Hansen from their match.
Well, that can be. And her one-board move, which is probably her typical adjustment, it's not going to be a 3 or 4 board move, isn't enough.
Keeps herself clean. She's only down by 4 pins at this point in time, so she can find a way to get a double in there, and Zach keeps going at his Dutch 200 pace. Savannah can get herself in the lead quickly. Zach, once again, you see him switching out that removable thumb insert to keep the same feel from bowling ball to bowling ball. And
so you've been bowling many years, a few decades if my calculations are correct.
we'll go with a few.
How many Dutch 200s have you had?
I've had 1.
I have had 1, and I've been bowling 51 years.
And of course, as soon as we mentioned Dutch 200s, that's out the window for Zach because he rings up a 10 pin. He's got to be going, what do I got to do to carry on this lane? Now, I'm sorry, the Dutch 200 is still alive because that's his 3rd straight 10 pin here on lane 19.
But it is no easy task to shoot a Dutch 200, especially in today's day and age with the powerful balls and the likelihood of you catching a double.
Well, and then of course, after getting all spares on one of the lanes, you get up in the 10th frame and having to get that strike. Or you've struck on the lane all the time. The first 4 times you've been on it, you get up in the 10th frame and you have to get yourself a spare. So all kinds of different ways to go about it. Well, Zach still with the 4-pin lead, even with those 3 10-pins on lane 19 here at Classic Lanes Fox Valley, but he's got lane 18 figured out so far this game.
So another trivia question for you, Phil. How many all-spare games have you had?
1 all-spare game as well.
And I as well. So they are not common occurrences. As
Nope.
we see another soft 10-pin from Zach, and Zach is about to pull his hair out.
He was having no problems. He was 3 for 3 so far this game, getting into that shot on lane 18, and just a little bit weak. Couldn't get something to come across the deck and take the 10-pin out.
Right, but the Dutch 200 is now officially over.
And that's way right.
And compounding matters even worse. Whiffs the 10.
Yeah, that's one of those times where, especially on that wood lane, that early friction, maybe his polyester spare ball could have helped him out a little bit instead of staying with trying to flatten out the strike ball. Trying to take a little hook off that by flattening out his hand, and unfortunately it was in the gutter about 45 feet down.
Now, Savannah, being the true champion she is, should jump on this.
Looks good out of her hand, and of course...
But she threw a
10.
great shot.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all you can ask from yourself is do what you meant to do, and she stayed low, good follow-through, bad break.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good 10, if there is such a thing as a good 10.
Yeah, very little deflection by that bowling ball. That 6-pin just stayed low, but wrapped itself around the 10-pin, and she's just taking this business as usual here. You know you're going to leave them, you know you got to make them, and she covers it up.
So is this the transition that's creating all this poor pin carry, or the lack of the right adjustments from the players?
I think it could be a little bit of both. I think they're making the adjustments, especially in the wood lanes, that they think they should be making, and sometimes it's just a little too much or not quite enough, and they're finding ways to leave corners, or in this case, now she gets it out.
That's a pretty good shot, but we do have to consider their age as well. You know, at 15 and 16 years of age, even though they've been bowling maybe 8-9 years each, experience sometimes takes decades to really sink in, let's say, of what adjustments you can make on certain environments.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And Wisconsin Women's Open, once again, call Classic Lanes Greenfield to get your information on that. You'll see a lot of fine women out there making those adjustments to strike that day. If you're not bowling, put on your calendar, come on out and watch Sunday, November 23rd at Classic Lanes Greenfield, and Zach's got to be going, what do I have to do? All I'm leaving is 10 pins now.
And that was a good shot off his hand, and it appears as though Zach, having youth on his side, resorted to added speed to hold the ball on line, but that doesn't always help the ball go through the pins the right way.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, another 10 pin.
Yeah, that 6-pin just zoomed right around the 10. Takes his time, covers it up nicely, but unfortunately, because of that missed 10-pin in the 7th frame, instead of having a 4-pin lead, Zach is finding himself at a 7-pin deficit right now. His maximum score, 208, if he can strike out in the 9th and 10th. And a strike here is really needed in order to put pressure on Savannah to step up.
Well, he's had 3 consecutive 10 pins in a row, and I should correct that, 4 consecutive 10 pins. That one was due to speed.
Yeah.
A little bit of a late reaction on the ball.
Yeah, you can just see that ball.
He'll learn by this. I mean, you can see he's getting frustrated, and I mean, the better adjustment in hindsight may have been just bump in more with your feet, take a little bit of speed off the ball, and use some of that oil in the middle of the lane to help the ball retain energy, and obviously put your best release on it.
Yeah, but I mean, when you're young like Zach, 15 years old, you can strap it up a little bit, give it a little extra speed. Sometimes that's the easiest move for them at this state of their physical game. As the mental game develops, as you said, he might make that move next time, or he might kind of bump his feet a little farther left and slow roll it a little bit more. It's all a learning experience for these kids, and that's why we really take pride in our Youth Challenge series, because these young bowlers are learning all kinds of stuff about the sport every tournament they bowl.
Right, and they need to take chances at times when things aren't going their way, as another one just doesn't quite make the turn on the back. And again, Jason Belmonte said it a few months back. We were talking about adjustments he made on the Masters show. And I said, how do you make these adjustments in mid-game in such an important environment? And he says, my dad taught me from little on, you don't want to die wondering. So if you think you should make a move or an adjustment or a ball change, make it. Don't die wondering.
Yeah, always go with your gut. Sometimes it's tough to do, and as you said earlier, when you're hitting the pocket consistently and your only nemesis is a 10-pin, you got to find a way to get it out. And make that subtle move or make a big move, but make the one you think you have to make at that point in time. Well, big move here for Savannah is to get a double to shut out Zach Hansen. Anything less, and Zach's going to have a chance to step up in the 10th frame and take home that $150 Visa gift card for the challenge match winner, and a weak 10-pin again for Savannah on that wood lane, lane 18.
Yeah, and she's probably glad that they're going to be removing these front 18 lanes and switching them to synthetic, as most of the 10-pins we're seeing on the wood lane.
So she's going to take a little extra time here, make sure that hand's nice and dry. She knows the score without looking at the scoreboard. She knows the spear is very important.
Well, she is clean up to this point, and with a conversion here and a decent count, she'll be in the 190s, forcing her opponent to double to beat her.
Yes, indeed. And there's that spare she needed. So yeah, anything here, count pretty much not a huge deal right now. She's got a 7-pin lead unless she were to take 3 off the left or right. It's going to force Zach Hansen to throw the first 2 in the 10th frame and get a decent count in order to take home this straight shot Youth Classic Challenge Match title and that $150 Visa gift card from Straight Shot Billiard and Game Supply. Nice roll up. I thought that was going to have a little better chance to get there.
Yeah, I'm sure she did too. So 192 game for Savannah. So what does Zach do after 4 consecutive 10s?
Well, this is the 3rd straight challenge match, Joey, that we've had the bowler be able to step up and get a double in the 10th frame to win. The first 2 so far this season, Taylor Levine had a chance. She went strike, 10-pin. Courtney Ermish had a chance. She went strike and 10-pin. So I got to say, Zach's going to go strike, and he's going to break the jinx maybe and get that 2nd strike in a 10th frame.
You know, he's got to make some adjustment because his speed adjustment hasn't worked. He's only striking 33% of the time with 3 strikes in the first 9 frames. A little bit of loft, a little bit of hit, and he carries the Wally, and maybe that's the key. Don't hit flush and risk another flat 10. Just hit him thin and watch him spin.
Well, a little smirk out of him there. He knows half the job's done right now. You got to throw the first one to get to the second one here.
And as we saw that on the replay, that ball still deflected, so that was just the fact he hit light.
So all that matters right now for Zach is making sure this shot strikes. Take home this challenge match title and the gift card. Looks like it's in the pocket and a wrap 10-pin.
And you got to give him credit because that was a great shot, and he's going, oh my God, why me?
I think he's going to be having nightmares about 10 pins in his sleep for the next couple of weeks for after this tournament.
But we still have to give him credit. He threw a great shot with tough circumstances here. What is that, 6 out of 7 10 pins?
Yes, indeed.
Or 5 out of 6?
5 out of 6.
Whatever it is, it's an ugly number.
And covers it up, and Savannah Giroux is going to take home the first challenge match title for the ladies this year with her 192 to 187 victory. Join Joe Sora and I back from Class Lanes Fox Valley to wrap up this tournament in just a moment.
Straight Shot. Pool tables, cues, balls, and accessories. Dartboards, darts, and dart supplies. Poker tables and poker chips. Board games and table games. Stay-at-home fun for the entire family. Check out Straight Shot, your game room headquarters, 1215 Appleton Road, Menasha.
Well, Joey, another great challenge match came down to the 10th frame. Zach Hansen had a chance to step up, double in the 10th frame to win. Didn't quite do it, but a bugaboo earlier in the match really put Zach in a position he didn't have to be in.
Well, he left a boatload of 10 pins, and neither bowler gave up the pocket too much. They were dialed in, but pin carry was very challenging. Zach actually outstruck Savannah 4-2, but he did miss that 110 pin, lost the match.
Savannah Giroux takes home that $150 Visa gift card thanks to our friends at Straight Shot Billiard Supply in Menasha. Zach, not a bad day though. $100 Visa gift card. All the bowlers at May TV also got scholarship money as well. A great day for them. And we're not done here at Classic Lanes Fox Valley yet. We're coming back. We're going to have the Straight Shot open to anybody, men, women, youth. So there should be some pretty good bowlers showing up in that bowl from all across the state of Wisconsin.
Well, there will be for sure, but more importantly for the kids today, a learning experience that they're going to gain knowledge of lane play, handling pressure situations. It was fun to watch.
This show was fun to watch. I'm sure our next show coming to you here from Classic Lanes Fox Valley will be fun to watch as well. Joe Sorrell will be back with me for all your bowling needs. See him or Dennis Jarrers at Bowlers Pro Shop Milwaukee. I'm Phil Brilo. Parents, take the kids bowling. They'll have fun for life, and we'll see you one more time from Classic Lanes Fox Valley.